innovative content, global audience.
Hello, good morning, viewers. It's another beautiful day here in Abuja. And we're reaching you live from our SRTV studio here in Abuja. This is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Princess KESSY, and I have with me today
Patience OKOSUN.
How was your night, Patience?
It's fine.
You don't look good this morning. What's up with you?
I hardly slept last night actually, but I'm fine.
Okay. So we have a lot of trending issues. Yesterday, Peter Obi was detained, was questioned over, and the office is saying he was impersonated. Yes.
I really I don't know who copied or impersonating me. Somebody else will have to
Yes,
be like him or him,
yes,
somebody or something.
Yeah, these are some of the issues and the allegations here and there. You know, the office is saying something else. They're accusing oppositions here and there that they are trying to just cause problems for them here and there. We understand how these things work, and then we also have issues here as well as other issues of Wike, Milari, a lot of dragging left and right.
And then going into it.
Yes.
I think it's who they're asking to go into exile.
Yes.
So a lot of stories. Anyways.
A lot of stories. Anyways, we move on quickly. We have a lot of protests as well. The guy that was killed, that was lynched to death in Ondo State, the mother is insisting that the boy is actually an Uber driver, not a Yahoo boy. So there are a lot of issues now unfolding. Anyways, we see how that unfold. But we move on quickly this morning to the papers we have this morning, and these are some of the stories making waves this morning across the nation. We have here, I'm going to kickstart with the Nation newspaper, and these are some of the stories making waves this morning. We have here, Obi lacks rights to contest my victory, Tinubu tells tribunal. And the rider says Shettima validly nominated as running mate. APC, Atiku, PDP can't query president-elect qualification. Now, all the stories on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says how Obi was detained in London by aid. He was impersonated. That story as well is on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says G5 governors mini convention plan deepens as deepens PDP crisis. Now that story is on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Also have a story here that says National Stadium Surulere, the hard facts. That story is on page 9 of the Nation newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says many feared trapped under collapsed Lagos building. That story is on page 27 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says presidential poll most credible in Nigeria's history. Observers report rates Beavers high, says Kayamo others. That story is on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says IMF lists ways out of currency inflation crisis. That story is on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says 3rd million bridge for repairs with 6.2 billion naira. That story is on page 8 of the Nation newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says gunmen kidnap, kill police inspector. That story is on page 21 of the Nation newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says protesting OAU over killing of students. That story is on page 21 of the Nation newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have making waves this morning. There's a story here I saw that says many fear trapped under collapsed building in Lagos. Now, we've seen this over the past 3 months. It's been from one collapsed building to another in Lagos, especially around Lekki and those banana.
I think what they do there is most buildings are old, and then the landlords just tend to repaint it and make it look more attractive. Now, if there's a
No,
crack,
funny enough,
there's a
let me correct something, Pat. Funny enough, some of these collapse buildings are even new. They are just newly constructed. Some are still under construction. Yes, like this one is still under construction. We
Then
know
the
some are
foundation
old.
is
Yes, the thing is this in Lagos. A report once says that sometimes you see that people will come out and build with the mindset of a story building or two-story building, and as time goes on, they would have laid foundation for one or two-story building, and then as time goes on, because of one selfish reason or the other, they feel like, oh, if I have more, yes, I'll get more money at the end of the day, and before you know, they start topping up, putting more stories, and meanwhile the foundation is not even meant to carry more than that. Yes, and at the end of the day, we have these issues. That is the report I once I got some time ago. So I really do hope, I'm going to bring an engineer as well to discuss on this. I really do hope that this will come to an end really soon, because the rate at which buildings are collapsing in Lagos is becoming very worrisome. I tell you, it's becoming very worrisome. And then I saw another story here that says a government kidnap, kill police inspector. I don't feel like we just come here on a daily basis and you hear killing, kidnap. So is there a day we're going to sit here and not discuss?
I said it yesterday.
Yes.
The day we will sit here and not discuss.
We should celebrate. Yes, we celebrate. And then there's another story here that says presidential poll most incredible in Nigeria's history. Observers report rates beavers high, says Keramo and others. Well, I don't think so, because we know that a lot of people are grieved, a lot of people question the credibility of government. So I don't know where this comment is coming from. Best. Anyway, they have their reasons. And then OAU students are also protesting over killing of students. The day will come on the news and everything is well, that will be the day for me.
I would do give a personal.
And then this Peter of this story, we know he was harassed, he was detained, he was questioned as well. So I'm really hoping that those people, they say he was impersonated, so we're hoping as well that
a lot of charges on this man. Just to ask like why, because he came out for the president. Is it a crime in this country? But then I hope he comes out of all those charges, all those problems.
He said he was detained over duplication offences by immigration officers at Heathrow Airport at the United Kingdom. So really do hope that this will not happen again, and they find a way to get to the bottom of that story.
Hopefully.
Yes.
And so we move on to the next newspaper this morning, coming from The Punch. The major headline here says CBN Forex ban. Nigerians imported 18 trillion naira cooking oil, meat, orders in 7 years. Report. And then the writer here says importers ordered agri-animal products, orders from Asian, EU, African countries. We also have firm-sourced dollars at parallel markets over CBN Forex ban on 41 items. You find the story on page 2 of the Punch newspapers this morning. We also have a story here that says federal government to repay World Bank $800 million loan for 25 years. You find that story on page 19 of the Punch newspaper, beg your pardon. And then we also have a story here that says doctors in diaspora petition National Assembly over anti-migration bill. We also have a story here that says Senate probe Accountant General over 74 billion naira funds. Senate probe Accountant General over 74 billion naira funds. You find that story on page 20 of the Punch newspaper. We have a story also that says Banana Island 7-story building collapses. Lagos alleged structure lacks permits. We also have a story that says Atiku dismisses exile plan, slams protesters. You find that story on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says police arrest 2 over OAU student deaths. You find that story on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. And we have a story here finally that says Lagos Ibadan Stadium own 950 million naira electricity bill, says that way. You find that story on page 30 of the Punch newspaper. And those are the story making waves from the Punch this morning. I think we talked about it, but it's actually a 7-story building. And they said it lacks permits.
Lacks permits. These are some of the issues. So they were not even permitted.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I don't know, engineers will be in a better position to say all this. But I know, like, I interviewed somebody the last time, and that was a report about that most of these people, most of these houses you see that somewhere along the line will just collapse is due to the plan. They don't stick to the original plan.
Yeah.
Or the use of standard materials. And then we're going to see more of that.
And then there's a story about federal government to repay World Bank $800 million loan for 25 years. That's actually a good one. Actually, at least we're owing our loans.
They are owing, so that is what you do when you owe. And then I saw a story here that really caught my attention. Lagos Ibadan Stadiums owe over 950 million electricity bill. How did that happen, if you ask me?
I think when I read that story, I was like, wow.
Now that issues and lack of proper management. This is the only way you can explain this. How do people they are in one place, they are making use of the place, and then we get to this stage? That is almost $1 billion naira.
Yes.
I don't know. Can people owe that much when it comes to power? I don't understand. That is really shameful, if you ask me. And then we also have a story here that says doctors in diaspora petition National Assembly over anti-immigration bill. Now, the fact is that I don't know why. Let me tell you the truth. The period of since this report, I have been talking to doctors. I have been trying to get them on the show, but apparently they are very angry. I got like 2 days ago. Like they will tell me, but no, now all of them they are still calm because they don't want to even believe that this is happening. And then I got another one yesterday, and he was telling me, I'm not doing, I wanted to do, but we don't even have time yet. When we have time, people will hear from us.
Even the ones in diaspora are not happy about it also.
Of course, that is why they petitioned the National Assembly over this issue. Like I said, we said on the show yesterday, people are allowed to do whatever they want with their lives. As far that thing is legal, they are allowed to travel to any place they wish to go to. You cannot tie somebody down. You are not. These lawmakers are not even serious, if you ask me, because you don't have faith in these people. You lack trust in them, and that is the only reason why you travel abroad when you have headache, when you have fever, when your children have fever, you take them, you jet off, and now you want to tie them down, and then you don't pay their welfare packages, you owe salaries, and then you still want these people to stay back. I think that is unfair.
I think federal government is just playing a prank on the doctors. They should just count that.
This isn't a prank. I think they are serious with this.
Because
and the doctors are very angry. Hopefully I'm going to bring them on
my
show to this. Yes, but like it's been very difficult getting one because they are like all of them are spoken with. They are very angry and like they feel like no, this is so we get to a place in Nigeria where the government will not tell us what to do with our life after so many years in school, so many money wasted, and then you're coming to tell us how to run our life. That we are not going. That is not going to happen. We just really hope that that bill will be reviewed. And then we move on quickly this morning to the Daily Trust newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories making waves. We have here 28 hours to go. Anxiety in Adamawa, Kebbi, others ahead of supplementary polls. And then we have the rider says 336,935 voters to determine Tiri Banani's fate. And then we have another rider here on Daily Trust newspaper that says 994,209 to decide the Gudu's successor. Wamako, Tambua, Marofa, these others in final battle for Senate. Now, all the stories are on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Expect seamless elections process. Police. That story as well is on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. We also have a story here that say governorship results. APC petitions tribunals in Kano, Plateau, and Rivers. That story is on page 12 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we have a story here coming from the IMF. Urges Nigerians to increase tax to cut borrowing. Now that story is on page 19 of the Daily Trust newspaper. We also have a story here that says military shots Maiduguri jovial sex brothers. That story is on page 9 of the Daily Trust newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says 10th Assembly Speaker. Why Wase is the best choice. That story is on page 8 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Now, these are all the stories we have making waves this morning. As well, I saw a story here that actually caught my attention here this morning. This military shut down Maiduguri Japanese sex brothers. We're going to discuss that, but we'll come back after this break. Now, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We have a lot of reviews to do this morning. We'll be right back.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15 to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2856. The Nigerian Week, celebrating the best of Nigeria from the rest.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and we are still on the newspaper reviews this morning. Now, before that break, I was talking about military shut down Maiduguri juvenile sex brothers. We already know why is that. Of course, that is in northern states, and there are some things that we know that they will not allow.
Yeah.
Of course, I am not being somehow, but I think I love that move. People should look for the better ways to make money. Yes, that is not a very good way as a woman to make money. There are a lot of things you can actually do to earn real money. That is slavery, if you ask me. It is slavery. So that is a very good move. And then we move on quickly now to the... Before we go, I saw this story here that says 36,935 voters to determine Fintiri Bilani's fate. Like we've been praying. That was the lady that the last time, because she had issues, they had electoral issues here and there, and now they are going to rerun that election.
Yes. I think it's better they rerun there.
I really do hope she comes out, because that would be our first female governor in Nigeria, and that is something a lot of people are really willing to see. It will also make a lot of women come out from their hiding places. You know, that thing with
women into politics more.
Yes. I really think we need more of women. You know, there's something about women, Pat, if you ask me. The ability for us to manage the home, the office, the church, like
if we can manage this sector, who says we cannot manage a country?
Like the women naturally, I think we are just blessed. Men, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. We are just blessed. We have this, I don't know, we are just managers in making.
Yes.
Because if we're able to manage, some women, you see that they have 10 children, they have businesses, but they're still able to cope. They're still able to manage, they're still able to do the things they are supposed to do. Men will not be able to do this.
Even if a man is doing it, trust me, there's a woman behind that man. Just like you.
Yes. So I really do hope that we see this Fintiri Binani's fate today, that what's it called? We just really do hope that she's going to emerge the winner. Like we are sharing her. We're waiting. because this will really make a lot of us very happy. For once, let's have a change, and let's have a woman for that change.
Yeah.
Move on quickly to the next newspaper we have.
So, from the Blueprint newspaper this morning, the major headline here says 10th NAS leadership. Why APC's yet to decide on zoning? Senate spokesman. And then the writer here says NWC NEC yet to meet on workable formula. We won't allow repeat of Saraki Dogara experience. Party source. Number of contestants is rising as female rep-elect joins race for speaker. You find the story on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says November 11 Guban, PDP scribe Anyanwu emerges candidate in Imo. The writer here says Diri Klichi's ticket in Bayelsa, APC adopts direct primary in Kogi, declares Kano governor pool inconclusive, ruling party tells tribunals. You find that story on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says you lied over alleged beaver supply to INEC, APC tells Atiku. And so we have the writer here that says insist PDP candidate position on Tinubu's certificate value. You find that story on page 5 of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. We also have a story that says FCT police fuel robbery, nap to recover car orders. You find that story also on page 5 of the Blueprint newspaper. We have a story also that says Bono assembly member elect dies in India. You find that story on page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. We have a story also that says FEC approves 49 billion naira for Enugu Anambra Road. You find that story also on page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. We have a story also that says Shell denies breach of Nigeria context regulations in contract award. You find that story on page 23 of the Blueprint newspaper. UK detention, enemy-sponsored impersonator to smile Obi LP. You find that story on page 7. And so finally on Blueprint newspaper this morning, automation at Lekki Deep Seaport now delivers cargo in 2 days, says NPA. You find that story on page 30 of the Blueprint newspaper. Those are the story making waves this morning from Blueprint newspaper. Where Blueprint says this story that says Shell's enemies denies breach of Nigeria. No, okay. So I'm talking about UK detention, enemy sponsored impersonation to smile Obi. Actually had that thought. Anyway, I feel like people are a lot of enemies. Obi actually raised a lot of enemies after the whole election, and I feel like somebody somewhere had to smile this on him also. I don't know what you think about that, but that's my own opinion also.
We all know that politics is deep. It's deep. Like it's very deep, and it's bigger than what we see. But sometimes you are outside, and so you don't tend to know what's happening. But those inside will let you know. That is why I always say politics is not a very good game. So it's not for the faint-hearted. Yes, for the fierce-hearted. And then I wouldn't actually deny that fact. As it stands, anything can happen. It's somebody that has people feel like he has stepped on toes. He was able to shake two mighty party, and for that reason, we know that just maybe, who knows, but we see more of that story. And I like this story here: police for robbery, map 2, recover car, others. Now that is a very good one. We applaud the police for that. The way they are snatching cars in Abuja here, Kaduna, and what's it called, Nasarawa and the rest, is the rate is becoming very alarming. So my friend went to the court. She just went in, not like up to 10-20 minutes. She came out, and the next thing, her car today was not until today. Like this is been like since maybe November, December last year up till now. She had not seen that car. They couldn't recover the car. A brand new car, like these Toyota Spider or something like that. So it's really a good one that the police were able to recover. At least this person that owns the car will be very happy. You know how much it is to clear car now, let alone buying a car. So I'm really happy for that person, and we applaud the police as well. And then I saw another story here that says, you like over-alleged beavers supplied APC tells Atiku insists PDP candidate's position on Tinubu's certificate. Yes, so I really do politics, like I'm saying, you have to have the heart to come out. I'm already know like all of them are getting it. Raging from Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, it's hot on all of them anyway. But it's hot because that is, but truth be said, that is what usually comes after election. It's not always. You don't think that somebody will just come and win easily. It's going to be battles, and even after the win or the declaration, you still have battles. That is politics, and that is why we insist that it's not for the faint-hearted. So you're coming out, you want to be a politician, you have to have some kind of guts and mind. To want to come and contest for any position. But we see how that goes. And then we have another one here that says Borno Assembly member elect dies in India. Our condolence. Yes, that's actually a sad one. Yes, our condolence. It is a very sad one. And then we'll move on quickly this morning to the next newspaper we have, and that will be the Vanguard newspaper. These are some of the stories making waves this morning. We have here presidential poll. APC, PDP fight over validity of outcome. And then the rider says why APC's electoral victory must not stand. PDP, PCC. Says judiciary is on trial, must save Nigeria. Another rider says Tinubu's victory reflects will of Nigerians, APC. And another rider says tells Atiku, we didn't supply beavers to INEC, adds whipping up sentiment won't help PDP case. Now, these stories are all in page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says Kaduna 125 killed, 60 kidnapped in 82 days. That story is on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says ignore opposition. APC won presidential poll, Tinubu tells foreign media. That story is on page 28 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says Wike called me 19 times in 2 hours, lobbying me to be Atiku's running mates. Milai says on page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. Now, we also have a story here that says budget deficit. DMO to sell 360 billion naira FGN bonds. That story is on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says how Obi was detained at London airport for hours. And the rider says Obi won't be detained by UK immigration officials harassment media office. Now, that story is on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. We have a story here that says buy for promotion. PSC force headquarters to unhead syndicates. That story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says LP crisis fasten as factions clash over control of secretariats. Now, that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. 10th mass APC chieftains meet Tinubu in Paris over zoning. As well, the story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says killings, how headers killed 89, reduced 31 communities to rebels. Benue local government leaders on page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. Now, these are all the stories we have this morning making waves on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now, I saw a story here that says, there's another story here that says, ahead of AFCON 17 tournament, a story here is saying, Ubedia, nothing Eaglets do will be special. I think this is not a good comment because whether or not they've been failing us over the years, but the last match they did, I think they did New Zealand 3-0. I think that is something to
We should start.
We should applaud them. Support
yes.
them. This is the issues Nigerians have now, because you failed before and then you do something good. They don't want to see that good in you. People only see the failure part of a thing or someone, and that is not a good one. A lot of fans, a lot of football fans have been applauding them anyway, so I don't know where this is coming from. We saw that it was on the headline yesterday on the sport papers. They were actually doing very well. They have been doing well as well. So I don't know where that is coming from, but that is not a good comment if you ask me.
Yeah.
And then we'll have another one here, bribe for promotion, Police Service Commission, first headquarters to unearth syndicate, a very good one, because I think people should not be promoted unnecessarily. You should earn that promotion. You should earn that seat. So you cannot be controlling over someone that is even, because I saw that thing.
I think this bribing and corruption has eaten deep into our Nigerian system. Now, we need to really work on that as a country, as a nation, to deal with bribing and corruption. Now, people will feel like if they don't bribe, they don't get promoted. And it is so wrong. And I feel this is actually a good one.
Yes, it is a good one. They should unearth them. I know someone, it's not something I will say here, but I know of a person that his level was way higher than a lot of people, but he was kept at the same level because of power that be in a particular office, and this is the same office. And so I'm very happy that this is even coming from the same office. I saw a story here as well that says killings, how headers killed 89, reduced 31 communities to rebels. Do you know what that means? Now, how many communities do we have? How many communities do we have? Now, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, viewers, don't go anywhere, stay with us.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crop, financial product and services, and real estate for huge extra opportunity in diaspora. Look no further. The 36th state of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15th to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549.
Ladies, are you ready to shine? Here's a golden opportunity for you to show the world the queen in you, as the second edition of Face of SRTV Ladies Edition is about to begin. What are you waiting for? Register online with just 500 naira and stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100,000 naira and the deal of becoming our ambassador. There will also be consolation prizes for second and third place winners. To register, kindly pay the registration fee and send your name, age, picture, and state of origin to this number 0906 895 2170. For more inquiries, please call 0907 400 7816. Powered by SRTV London, the face of SRTV, who takes the crown.
Quick break. And now we're still discussing on the Vanguard, some of the headlines we'll have on Vanguard this morning. And now we're talking about the killings, how headers killed 89, reduced 31 communities to rebels in Benue local government leaders cries out. Now, me, I'm asking, how many communities do we even have in that state? Now, you've been able to are left in the state. I just think as it stands, and then you're trying to force lawmakers, they don't know what to do, and they are trying to force doctors to stay back. How do you expect people to stay back in such a country where you are not even safe?
Well, we really need to know what's going on in that state, Benue, because over the weeks there have been a lot of killings, a lot of properties that are lost, and then we need to know what next to do. What is the government doing about it? The governor of the state, the youth of the state.
Well, they've been crying out. They've been crying out.
They should do more.
Yes. Now there is this. When you go to a particular IDP camp around Area 1, Durumi area. Most of them in that camp are from Benue State. And up till now, the last time we took things for them, stores for them, up till now, there was a lady, she was complaining that by now she's supposed to be in a state in Benue, farming, doing her farm, living her life, but this is not life. This is not, and I agree with her. Yes. This is not even a life. In your own country, you are a refugee in your country, and then you're trying to suppress some set of people, asking doctors that they don't have rights to migrate. That is, if they wish to go. I don't think that is right. And then we have lawmakers that they are untouchable. You go to their residence, you see that the fences are so high, a lot of securities, a lot of dogs, a lot of bodyguards, a lot of police people around.
What about the people on the streets? The layman.
Do they really care about you? I don't think they care about the people. This is really sad, and this got to me this morning. 31 communities to rebels. This is not a good one. I think the security agencies need to do more. Like I said on the show the other day, they should focus this energy on these parts of the country that are having Benue, Kaduna, Niger, yes, that are having this crisis on a daily basis, for at least for people to have peace to an extent. And then as well, we have another story here that says tense NAS, APC shiftings meet Tinubu in Paris over zoning. Now, this is why I have issues with politicians. Are they not supposed to meet in Nigerian parts? Why we are voting Paris? I don't understand. Is Paris not the new Nigeria?
Well, I've even heard over time about how they travel outside the country
just to have meetings.
Like, we don't have a chair in Nigeria.
Well, they feel like here they can easily have into their private conversations. Just they don't trust people around. That could be the reason as well. But I think it's better they stay back. After all, they're here to govern the people, so you should stay in this country. Whatever it is, make it work. Do that meeting here. Anyway, we move on. And here, just before we go, I saw this. I saw this story. Wike called me 19 times in 2 hours.
I heard that news this morning. I was like, okay, 19 times in 2 hours for him lobbying to be articles running it.
The fact is that politicians, this is the problem I have with politicians. I don't think in politics there is never a permanent friend. Now, because whatever you do later will be used against you. So I think whatever you do,
because in politics, whatever you're doing, just know tomorrow.
I think anything you have is permanent interest. Nothing as such as permanent interest.
Yes, it's for your own interest. What are they? You think that
because whatever you do in the secrets, in the dark, somehow one of you will still be facing themselves. And I don't know what the youth should look up to as it stands. Anyway, we move on quickly to the next newspaper we have this morning.
Yes, and coming from Nigeria Pilots, the major headline here says $2.4 billion crude oil thefts. $2.4 billion crude oil theft. And the one here says CCB raises alarm, says high-profile cabal behind illegal sales of crude oil in Nigeria, alleges existence of cabal operating with international collaborators to steal Nigeria crude oil. Reviews in trade cases or in trade cases in shipowning crude proceed through network of international financial institutions, insists that until frontally confronted, Nigeria will continually lose its oil revenue to a few. You find that story on page 8 of Nigeria Pilots newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says trade users trace Obi to UK. He was being impersonated. You find that story also on page 8 of the Nigeria Pilots newspaper. We have a story here that says Governor Diri emerges PDP governorship candidate for November 11 poll. You find that story on page 19 of the Nigeria Pilots newspaper. We have a story that says Obasanjo leads WAEF pre-election delegation to Sierra Leone. You find that story on page 9 of the Nigeria Pilots newspaper. We have a story also that says armed raiders kill 89 persons in recent upper local government attack. local government area attack. You find that story on page 6 of the Nigeria Pilots newspaper. We have a story also that says court nullifies Kogi APC's delegates list for November governorship nomination. You find that story on page 6 of Nigeria Pilots newspaper. 10th reps female speakership aspirant calls for state of emergency on dwindling female representation. You find that story on page 8 of the Pilots this morning. We also have a story that says federal government approves 6 billion naira for third mainland bridge maintenance. You find that story on page 5 of the Pilots newspaper. And we have a story that says foreign investors snub 27 states as Nigeria capital inflows fall. Foreign investors snub 27 states as Nigeria capital's inflows fall. We are finally on Nigeria Pilots newspaper this morning. We have a story that says FEC approves 17 billion naira review of old Enugu Onitsha road contracts. You find that story on page 6 of Nigeria Pilots newspaper. Those are the stories making waves this morning on the news.
Well, I saw a story here that really caught my attention. 10th reps female speakership aspirant calls for state of emergency. Yes, if you ask me, they should call for a state of emergency.
Yeah,
we've said this before this morning. I don't see the reason for them believing or thinking that women are not able to do be more or cannot handle some positions, be on some seats. They feel like these seats are too sensitive for the women.
I think this is actually an inspiration to women to see to tell that we can actually be in politics rather than just sit at home and do the home chores.
Yes, we have moved beyond that area where women are just relegated to the background or to the house, to the kitchen alone. A woman can still be. Now let me tell you, there's a lady I know. She's very popular. I really don't want to mention her name here. She's very big. She's always busy, but she still runs her home. Like the day I went to her for a shoot, she get to bed and I went to do the baby shoot. I saw that she was cooking. A lady that just came from the hospital because I think she's having 6 or 5 children. She was cooking. The husband was just relaxing in the living room, watching film. This lady was cooking. This lady
That's actually a nice one.
See, let me tell you, there are lots of things the ladies can do, women can do. They can even do it way better. Because when a woman is somewhere, if they tell you, no, I won't take this by this, no. We know that we are not saying that all women are good, but we're saying that let's give them chance. We've been having men over the years. I grew up seeing men. A lot of men in politics, women, but where are we today in politics? If you ask me, I don't even know. So it's better. Let's have women, or let it run pari passu. We have maybe 60 to 40%, and then of course, because when you have a lot of women in that National Assembly, most of these things will not be so. Because I know women, sometimes they can be really, really rigid and they tell you this is wrong and we're not going to take this. And that is how it should be. So it's better we give more women try. So I think this is a very good call. They should declare state of emergency in that place. And then we have a story here as well that says, federal government approved 6 billion for 3 million bridge maintenance. Like, wow. For how many? Like I can't say the date specific, like the year, but we've been hearing more of that. This 10 million bridge, why are they always maintaining? Why are they always spending money on it? The last time I went to Lagos, that was early last year, I passed through the bridge, and then I don't know why we keep maintaining, spending so much, or is this something where maybe we'll ask an engineer as well when we have one on the show? And then this effect approved 17 billion naira review of old Enugu Onitsha road contract. That road needs overhauling. I don't know about now, but the last time I went on that road, I regretted going on that journey. It is not a good. I don't know. That's way back. So I think that is something that they need to overhaul totally.
So we move to the
next paper quickly.
The next paper we have here this morning is the Leadership newspaper, and now these are some of the stories making waves this morning. Buhari backs amnesty for Boko Haram sect. The rider says security in the north is improving, Governor Aliyu. Now, this story is on page 5 of the Leadership newspaper. And then we'll have a story here as well that says 32.8 billion naira pension fraud. EFCC rearranges attack 6 others. That story is on page 8 of the Leadership newspaper. Now we have another story here that says OPEC lowers 2013 oil demand growth by 40,000 BPD. That story is on page 8 as well of the Leadership newspaper. And then we have a story here that says journalist detention. IPI warns against press harassment. That story is on page 10 of the Leadership newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says national ID cards to be used as voters card. This is coming from federal government this morning, and that story is on page 5 of the Leadership newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says state pardon. Federal government keeps Dia others in suspense. Now that story is on page 6 of the Leadership newspaper. Now these are all the stories we have making waves on the Leadership newspaper. Now, but look at this story here: national ID cards to be used as voter cards. So why did we not use? Why did we not? Seriously, they just say because we have how many years ago? Where we still have some elections. That means the state elections they can be used for national ID because we know that you cannot impersonate another person. Yes, it is you. It is your ID card. You cannot come with another person's ID card. I think I said that. Let's get to a point. We said it also on our show with Daddy Chris when we're doing the covering the elections. Let's also do the facts. Let's get to the facts when we use our tongue. Once you use your own, another person cannot use it. You cannot use for somebody, and then we have a very clean electoral process. If you ask me, all these loopholes will not be there. All these beavers, and then at the end of the day, we have credible elections, and people will just have to take the outcome the way it is. We know that it cannot be 100% maybe credible, but at least we'll be getting close to that place. It's really a good move because this is a move that would have been something that would have been done since, because people actually went through stress in getting this. I know the stress I went through that during that election period. You have to go and search your name somewhere to be sure that's your polling unit, and then before you come join the long queue, or else you can just go there and put your hand on the whatever and do a thumbprint or put just go your way. I mean, you don't need all this stress. Yes, you don't need all this stress and all this wahala just to vote for somebody you're willing to vote for. And I really do hope that they will not still tell people to travel. Let's get to a place also in the electoral process where you are in. For instance, you are in Lagos and you can vote for your candidates in Enugu or in Rivers. You don't necessarily need these things. Should travel in a digital world, because the risk involved. We have security issues, financial issues, and a lot of issues. So I think if we get to that stage where people can just sit one place and vote quietly, and this will even make the electoral process more credible. This is a very good one, and then we applaud. Then I saw this story here. Buhari backs amnesty for Boko Haram sects. I don't have issues. If you want to incorporate them into the society, and if they're willing, of course they are willing to change, or you are assuring us that these people they are not clean, then it's fine. But this coming from Governor Lee, this one is saying security in the north is improving. It's something I don't get. I wanted to ask which part of the north. Yes, it's something because there is no day we sit here, we go through the headlines and we don't see killings, kidnapping, adoption. So I don't know which part of the north, because he's referring to the north as whole. I think that statement is, if you ask me, is not very correct. Let's be truthful here. A lot of people, like we even said this morning, people are fleeing their communities, their states. They don't even know where they're running to. They're just running to stay alive. And you're telling us that security is improving.
I don't think that data is correct. Anyway, we move on quickly. And then before we go, the story of journalists.
Yes, that's
journalist detention, IPI warns against press harassment. That is exactly what we've been facing over the years. You say something and it will be used against us.
We are the mouth of the people.
We are supposed to be the bridge between the government and the people. But as it stands, in most of these developing countries, we know that press freedom is always a problem. You don't have a freedom of the press or speech or even to information. You don't have access to these things. And when you try to pry too much, you try to talk too much, it becomes a problem as well. And so I think this is a very good call this morning. We are happy about that one.
And so coming from Punch Sports Extra, let's move out to the sports news this morning. We have game changers, strikers, midfielder, defenders, goalies making the difference in NPFL. And then we also have a story here that says NPFL lobby urges Weavers in Just Thriller. We have a story that says fans lacked grit against Falcons. And we have a story also that says injured Rashford sure out. You'll find that story on page 3 of Punch Sports Extra this morning. We also have a story that says Osimhen Ice Scarf Potty Award. And then the writer says Nigerians tip to join Bayern. And so we have a story also that says Milan will track Chukwueze. You find that story on page 6 of the newspaper this morning. We also have a story that says Flamini hit at Arsenal takeover. Pogba may play against Potty. You find that story on page 2 of Punch Sports Extra this morning. We also have a story that says Wait make Mount Summer targets. You find the story on page 4 of the Punch Sports Extra newspaper this morning. And then coming from Champion League, we have a story that says Real Madrid 2, Chelsea 0, Champions Sea of Blues in Madrid. Also from Champions League, we have a story that says AC Milan 1, Napoli 0, Portnopi fatal at San Siro. You find that story on page 8 of Punch Sports newspaper this morning. Those are the story making waves this morning on Punch Sports newspaper.
Well, that will be the wrap from the newspaper headlines this morning. I'll go on a quick break, but don't go anywhere. I'm going to bring in a senior journalist. I really want us to talk about the issues of fake news, why they trend so quickly. Yeah, sometimes you see a news trending so much.
I've seen a lot of fake news online, and I get to ask myself, where is this news coming from? How is it even coming? Especially, we need to really tackle that issue.
Yes. Yeah. So we see a lot of fake news and the way they trend so quickly, even more than the real news. So this is something I want us to take a look at this morning. In a very few minutes, we'll be back. I will go on a quick break, and when we return, I'll come with a senior journalist to dissect some of these issues surrounding fake news and why they trend so quickly. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15th to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 54.
Ladies, are you ready to shine? Here's a golden opportunity for you to show the world the queen in you, as the second edition of Face of SRTV Ladies Edition is about to begin. What are you waiting for? Register online with just 500 naira and stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100,000 naira and the deal of becoming our ambassador. There will also be consolation prizes for second and third place winners. To register, kindly pay the registration fee and send your name, age, picture, and state of origin to this number 0906 895 2170. For more inquiries, please call.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back from that quick break. Like before I went on the break, I promised to come with a senior journalist. And I have with me here Moses John on the line. Hello, good morning, Moses. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Princess.
Yes, how are you this morning?
Yeah, fine.
Good morning, Moses. Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so on a quick one, I want to ask you now, as a senior reporter, you've been in the media for quite a long time, over a decade, and then we see this issue of fake news trending so quickly. These days, we know that we live, because of the new media, of course, a lot of reports of stories are not censored. They just come without gatekeeping. They just find way into the society. Now, what do you think is the cause of this? And of course, how do we curb this issue of fake news?
The issue of fake news I think it's due to not the new media where actually all the citizens can.
Hello, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Like I said, I'm on the road.
Okay.
So maybe my connectivity could be a little bit shaking.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so like I said, with the advent of new media,
Okay.
the citizens can with little or 200 naira can acquire data.
That's
Now,
right.
You see, as a reporter, right? You have all the ethics to look around and finding a particular news story. But you see, the citizens believe with the smartphone, you can call yourself a journalist, where you could just maybe snap a picture or maybe a particular news item that was shared, and maybe you're not sure if that particular news item is
correct,
factual or not. You could share that same material without necessarily checking if it's factual or not. So you see, again, journalists these days want to be the first to break news. And so many of us, for instance, could spread fake news because we want to be the first to break the news. I'm not necessarily checking whether that particular news item is factual or not. You know, and
how do you think we can curb this, since we now live in a social media world where people have access to the internet at will from their bedrooms or from their homes? What do we do as a media people?
Yes, how we can curb that is by ensuring that we have all the cyber law, you know, which they should be put into use. For instance, if you share a news item, if you share any material that is not real, you should be held responsible.
But do you think in a country like ours, where data are not even can be well calculated, we live in a country where a lot of people, the institutions are not working well, do you think this is even feasible?
It is feasible. For instance, if you're using a smartphone, they can track you.
Okay. Hello. Okay, we have a little bit of network issues here, but we've heard all that. Yes, welcome back, Moses. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, like I said, it might not be accurate. Our data might not be accurate, but with a smartphone, once you post any material at all, it can be tracked. No matter how long it takes, it can be tracked.
All right, well, thank you so much. It's obvious that the noise coming from there is quite disturbing. So we're going to do this. We're still going to develop on this particular story, fake news, and why it trends so quickly. Maybe next time we have to do it, we'll do it again. Thank you so much for being part of the show this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, that was Moses John, a senior reporter here in the Federal Capital Territory here. Of course, he's one of the oldest here in Abuja. And Pat, I think this issue of fake news will have to redo
we need to find a way to, how will I say it, for people to know fake news when they see one. Because like you say, fake news flies faster than the real news. So we need to find a way to know that this news is fake. Like I
there is not how a layman is, because you are in the media, you are a news person. A layman will not be able to tell or identify a news which is fake and which is not fake.
I went home the other day after work. I got home and I met my people outside, my neighbors. Everybody was gisting, and then in daylight I got to the compound. They asked Pat, they said, I don't know if I should see this on air, but they said a particular senior person in the country is dead. I'm like, how? Where is this news coming from? Just coming from the studio, and I don't think I've seen anything like that online. So where is this news coming from? Everybody was like, I work in the media, and how come I've not heard such news? Aware. They opened their phone and then they showed me the news online. I'm like, this is fake. This news is fake. It's fake news, and they all believed it. Not until later on they got to discover.
And that brings me to the question I was asking. As a lay person, we are in the profession, we are in the media, so it's easy for us to read a story and we're able to tell that this is not right, because sometimes I used to tell people, do you know some of these fake news also, they even have sources you can trace them to.
Yeah.
And then how do you not expect a lay person to not know which is fake news, which is real news? Now, these are some of the issues. And like I was telling our guest Moses, that how can we even censor some of these stories when we live in a country that the database are not even correct? Some of these institutions are not working.
Everybody wants to be a journalist online. That's the problem.
Citizen report.
Everybody wants to report.
But in as much as we all want to be the first to break the news, please know what you post, and because some of this news could hurt somebody. So please, let's know what to post. Be sure that that thing you're posting, not just to please yourself, you're happy you're the first to break it, but be sure that it's factual, it is correct, and of course, it is important for you to post before you even post that story. And that would be a good place to wrap up the show today. It's been fun doing this with you, Pat, this morning.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this again tomorrow, God's willing. Just before we go, don't forget our Nigerian Week London that is fast approaching. We keep singing it because we want you to keep hearing it. It's going to be fun galore.
Fun galore.
It's the food, the culture, the colors, and of course the business opportunity. This is something you wouldn't want to miss for anything in the world. You know how it is when Nigerians turn up. It's going to be loud. So I need you to get your tickets for these events. It's just next month and we are fast approaching. And don't forget also to hit on the notification bell, like our page, hit on the like button, and of course share our content. Invite somebody as well to the page. You know, a lot of things are happening here in SRTV. We have entertainment, news, relationships, everything interesting. So invite someone as well to the page. And of course, while you're at this, stay safe, be at alert, and drive carefully. Or for those driving, please do well to obey the laws and the traffic laws. Pat, thank you so much for being part of the show this morning. We do this again tomorrow. I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY.
And I am Pat. Remember, peace is priceless.
So let's give peace a chance. Bye.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week and the capital of the world.